All right, so you guys ready to see Cutco?
Yes.
All right, so here we go. Got to polish jewelry, right? All right, so what's the first thing that you notice about the handle?
Because it feels pretty good in the hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you locked in.
You
And
want
then
to
if you want to put
it
that,
since I do the cooking?
Yeah.
how does that feel in your hand?
Yeah, it feels good.
Pretty good. So the first feature, this is called the Universal Wedge Lock Handle. This is actually a 100% unique to Cutco. It was developed by Thomas Lamb, and he studied 700 pairs of hands, which is I'm sure, a very weird job. All right, so let me point out a couple of the features. First of all is, you'll notice it locks the thumb and forefinger up in the front to create that grip, if you can kind of see how that works for you. And so that way it doesn't slip, and it's really, really comfortable to hold. The next feature is going to be the thermoresin material that the handle is made out of. I don't know if you guys, anybody in the family play football, watch football, but like that material is the same stuff they make football helmets out of. Obviously, you know, football helmets can cost size $700. So similar material. A couple other things about it you'll notice is it's got the full tang, and it's got 3 nickel silver rivets, and you can kind of feel how flush those are to the handle. So they're really, really smooth. So it's got full tang. It kind of goes all the way through for balance and safety, so it does not bend or wobble while cutting. And the rivets, those little metal clamps that hold the knife together, those are made of nickel silver, which are super strong metal that will not expand, pop out, or eliminate food bacteria from getting caught in the middle. The steel is really awesome, as you can see. This is high carbon stainless steel, so it's going to have that nice, really nice polish. And it's also going to be really durable. So it's not going to, it can actually like flex without bending. Okay. And it goes through a 3-step multi-day heat tempering process to make sure the steel is the right hardness and edge retention. And actually less than 1% of manufacturers in the world use this process. So, all right, pause. Did you notice I kept handing the knife to them?
Yeah. Like you pick it up to like start like.
I just keep giving the knife. I want them to hold it the entire time because naturally they just put it down. Anyways, all right, time back in. Anybody watch like Saved by the Bell, like the reruns when he's like, all right, time out. Your mom will know what I'm talking about, right? Thank you. All right, so I want to show you why Cutco's special double the edge really sets us apart. So what we're gonna do is just like a little knife comparison at this point. So I'm gonna have we're gonna do a little demonstration here. Mr. Record, would you mind helping out for this part?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Appreciate you. All right, so we're gonna cut through a piece of rope. The reason why is because rope is really fibrous, so it'll illustrate very easily just how different types of edges. It's kind of like cutting through like a, you know, really like fibrous meats or vegetables, stuff like that. All right, so the first knife we're gonna use is gonna be the serrated edge. I'm gonna go ahead and have you hold it, start at the back, make full strokes, and I'll hold the rope for you. Cool?
All right.
And start at the back right there. All right, cool. So you can hear the serrated edge making like that rope cutting noise. Okay, it cuts with a point, so it rips and shreds the nose. It's kind of like when you like cut through bread with a serrated edge. You see all those crumbs.
Yep.
It's because it cuts with the points and it's ripping and tearing. You can see how it cuts that way. All right, so the next piece of Cutco is going to be the next one we're going to try is the straight edge. So again, same thing. Start at the back of the blade, make full strokes, push down, and we'll see how that goes too. All right, so that one, it makes a really, really clean cut, but you got to put down all that pressure, you notice.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm sure when you're
moving.
I'm sure when you cut tomato, you always push that hard.
Oh yeah.
Right? What happens when you do that though?
I usually just throw it at Drazen.
What happens when you push down that hard with a straight edge knife though?
He's fine.
Okay, just go.
It just smushes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, we're gonna try the Cutco knife. So again, I want you to go ahead and grip it, and then start at the back. And just for fun, I want to see if you can do it in that one stroke. I don't know if you guys think you can do it.
All right. Oh wait, okay. I think I can do it.
All right. So let's figure out.
Let me try that one more time.
You wanna try it again?
I can do it.
Okay.
I bet I can.
Let's go. You got it. I believe in you. Yeah.
All right. So let's figure out how did Mr. Precord become magically stronger all of a sudden?
Gain some
Yep.
superpower.
Okay, time out. First of all, number one, you guys, the customers never push down that hard on those first two knives. You were doing them because you're Logan. But typically what happens is like the first one takes forever. The straight edge one, you have to tell them to push down. And the last one, you have to be like, hey, let's see if you can do it in one just for fun. And obviously, they'll be better at it. If you're doing the rope cutting in person, you don't have to play the video, right? Just want to make sure we're all on the same page. All right. All right, so let me explain to you why this edge cuts this way. So this is the patented double D edge. So as you can see, it has 3 straight edges that are located between the points. So it cuts forwards, backwards, and straight down. So it has these points here, and the job of the points is to lift up and protect from the cutting surface these 3 edges that are located between the points. So with proper everyday use, the normal piece of Cutco will stay sharp between 7 to 10 years.
Wow.
So we did come up with a guarantee. So let me ask you, Mrs. Jones, if you were gonna create like the world's greatest cutlery guarantee, what do you think you would have? You'd have on it?
I don't know. Be able to replace it if anything like goes wrong with it. Make sure it actually lasts.
Okay, so we have that and more. So the reason why people have been invested in Cutco for 75 years is because of our forever guarantee. So the idea is that you buy Cutco one time and you never have to replace it ever again, and you can even pass it down to your kids one day. And what's cool is that they'll always be using brand new knives because they'll always be super sharp, but it'll be the stuff that you pass down. So it really becomes a family heirloom. Okay. So why does it become a family heirloom? First of all, because we have the performance guarantee. So if anything ever goes wrong with your Cutco, just send it back to the factory. We'll fix or replace it for free. No questions asked. Number 2 is the sharpness guarantee. This is what you were talking about to get them to be sharp all the time. So knives will not stay sharp forever. That's impossible. But what we do is that they are going to stay sharp for a really long time. And then if they ever go dull, all you do is you can send them to the factory and we'll resharpen them for free. We just pay for the shipping. Okay, and you can send them in however you want. My mom typically sends them in maybe every couple of years, and I've seen people that send them in every year if they want to. You know, like sometimes you have vacation, you're gone for like a week. Well, you send them out before you leave, and then when you come back from vacation, they're already in the back. All right, pause. What I just did is I just told them what's going to happen when they send their knives back. So what does that assume that they already have done?
Bought the knife.
I am projecting the vision of their ownership of the product. They're already locked in to the fact that they're going to buy by saying, got you, I understand how I would do that. They've decided to buy already before I've even talked about it. So I'm creating an environment where they are so locked in that they've already bought that all I'm going to do is just drop the threshold of the price to see what it's going to take for them to actually make that a real scenario. Okay? All right. So let me show you a short video, what other people have to say, and just how long people have already bought Cutco. So hopefully in about 10 to 15 years, we're going to feature you in this video. All right, so they watched the video. And that's another thing. Again, I'm projecting into the future that they're going to be somebody that's going to be so happy about Cutco that they're going to be in a testimonial video about it. And again, I'm making them want that experience. That vision is very attractive for someone if they're like, I'm going to be this happy, right? All right, so at this point, we're going to talk about, so here's the thing, we have a couple of more complete sets, a little larger sets, people that really love to cook, called the Ultimate and the Signature set, which I know we obviously go at the end, but I'm going to start with the pieces in our basic set. This is called the Homemakers Plus 8. It's got the minimum number of tools to do as many jobs in the kitchen as efficiently as possible. And it's really the best value for the average family, and it starts with your paring knife. So this is called Cutco's Air Knife, and basically this is a knife that you'll use in the air. Do you guys ever do like fruit smoothies or like put like bananas in a cereal, anything like that?
I do.
Okay, so that's what you would use this knife for. Okay. So the nice thing about the paring knife is it has actually a really long handle. I don't know if you ever noticed like some paring knives have like a really short and dinky handle that digs into your palm,
really
right?
small.
And so this one has a nice full-size handle because isn't your hand the same size no matter what knife you're using? Yeah, I just always think it's really weird that a paring knife is a little short, dinky kid's handle. Okay, but it does have the short blades for control. This is also going to be good for like deveining shrimp. This is going to be really good for like coring or pitting, kind of different fruits, vegetables, things like that too. It's really, really good for cutting banana for strawberries. It's one of those ones that like you probably would use almost every single day. Okay. All right. So the next tool in your set is going to be the trimmer. I actually have this one. And this one comes in the pearl handle. If you were to consider getting Cutco, I don't know, what do you think would look better in your kitchen? The pearl color or the classic, or would you go for the red?
I like greater red.
Me personally, I would say the white.
Cool. You guys can get both. You could do like the white and red set, like one white knife and it's gonna be all checkered like that. Like, I'm just kidding, nobody does that. All right, pause. Why was I looking over there?
Because it's their kitchen.
Visualize it.
Right? I'm making them visualize it with me because I'm looking at their countertops, I'm looking at the design of the kitchen. Again, it's another thing to make them already believe they own Cutco. Okay? All right, so this is the trimmer. And you guys ever cut a tomato with a really dull knife? Okay, what ends up happening?
Well, no more tomato.
Right, it's like, whoosh, right? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and cut a tomato today. I appreciate you guys brought one. So I wanna first show you how to do it. All right, so as you can see, you can make these like super paper thin slices. You ever seen a tomato slice like them before? So you actually will use less tomatoes to make more sandwiches. One of the things that a lot of kids actually have said in the past is they don't like tomatoes because of there's like a texture thing to it, but it's really what happens to the bread when you get all that tomato juice water on the bread, okay? See my face, by the way? And she's making it back to me, by the way, also too, because you can imagine the tomato juice soggy thing. But what's nice is when you do like a nice thin slice, all you're getting is like the nutrition part of the tomato without all the tomato juice water. And so you might notice that the little kids might eat more of them. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So you want to try it? And so I've made, you're like, dude, nice job. That's awesome. Look how thin that is. Now imagine never having to smash a tomato ever again.
Oh wait, he's asking.
Is it just for tomatoes or?
So,
Oh yes.
I mean, you can use it for prying open paint cans if you want to, but yes, it's typically best for, think about like all your like small round fruits. Anything about the size of like a softball or smaller, that's the trimmer knife for. So you'll probably grab that one for it. It's one that you'll probably use every single day. So it's pretty common. Do you think that you would use that at all, or maybe every once in a while, or?
It seems very lightweight.
Do you guys like
Very
ever
handy.
like slice tomatoes or like slice apples or like lemons or anything like that?
Definitely apples.
Yeah.
Dre loves
He
apples.
goes a fish
Yeah.
though for broccoli and all that.
Yeah, so that's what you'll use all the time. Also, I don't know if you guys ever do like any barbecuing or anything like that. I think I saw barbecue on the side.
That's
All right, so
his
this knife
expertise.
is amazing for trimming all of the fat off meat in a really controlled, safe way, right? Because when you're using kind of a dull knife, and you gotta really pull, or you're really, really getting this, sometimes like you ever like take off too much of the meat when you're just trying to take off the fat, and you're like, this is an $80 brisket, I just took off $2. So with this one, you're gonna be like a surgeon taking that off, and you can really control to get that 1/4 inch, right? When you're doing a brisket, or when you're doing like the ribs and you're just trying to get the silver skin off, this is amazing for that.
Well then, I have a question.
All right, so
what
hold on,
about a
pause.
straight edge?
Do you guys hear all of those little tiny barbecue kind of knowledges? Okay, if Mr. Jones barbecue, he's like, yes, I would use that knife like crazy, and she's like, yes, I would use that knife like crazy. That's why I also will sell the Santoku style trimmer with this thing, because if they use it so much, it's nice to have a backup. Okay, so why would most people use a straight edge on stuff like that? The reason why is because serrated edge would typically mess up the meat, but one of the things I want to remind you of is this is not a serrated edge. Think of it like a straight edge in 3 different directions. It's a multi-directional straight edge. So it'll cut really clean, but every time you hit the cutting board or bone, it won't dull the knife. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. So that's a really good question, Mr. Jones. And I always do that, by the way. Whenever they ask questions, I'm like, hey, that's a really good question. Who doesn't remember being in school and being like praised for asking good questions?
Oh my god, yes.
Right? So there's certain people that are like that, where if you praise their desire for knowledge, I'm training them during my demo to ask more questions. And that gets the customer engaged, which makes them want to do what at the end? Buy Cutco for the things that they wanted to get the answers for. Okay? All right. So,
Guys, that's why I'm smart. I'm a teacher's pet.
right? And it's a lot of the moms that are going to be like that. It's a lot of the moms that are going to be like that, right? All right. The next piece in your set, this one is called the spatula shredder. I think this was kind of cool. Do you guys ever make sandwiches?
Yeah.
Okay, if you ever make sandwiches, this is going to be a really, really powerful tool.
It's very weirdly shaped.
Yeah, so it's got the wide blade, so you can get all the way to the bottom of the mayonnaise jar. You ever like given up on jelly because there's like a little tiny bit left and you don't want to get your knuckles all dirty and you just got your fingernails done and like all that kind of stuff? All right, so you can get all the way to the bottom and scoop out the middle, and you can spread like one big slice of that, and it's got the knife side, the knife blade on it, so you can actually cut the sandwich in half all with one tool. Or do you guys ever do like any baking or anything like that? Like, do you ever do like lemon squares or like brownies?
Not too often,
Or like
but
cookies,
sometimes.
right, stuff like that. Okay, so here's what you can do. You can actually cut, and then you can serve with the same exact one. Also with the avocados, do you guys ever do avocados or like make guac or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So with the avocado, you can actually cut it in half, go all the way around the seed, separate out the avocado. It's got the knife blade on the side. You can actually dig it into the seed and pop it right out, and you can actually slice into the avocado shell. But because it's rounded, it won't pierce through. And then you can dig out fully sliced avocado without ever touching it. You only use one knife, so you don't have to like get dirty, like a knife and a spoon and stuff like that too. All right, what am I doing? Time out. So what am I doing with my hand?
Like-
I'm painting the picture.
Yeah, you like
I
visualize.
didn't actually have to have the knife or the avocado for them to mentally fill in all of those picture gaps. And so now she's like cooking in her head. She's doing all this stuff in her head, and she's like, I'm gonna need this stuff. I don't sell people Cutco because they want it. I sell it because they need it, because they're already in their head. At the end of the demo, they're like, we're gonna use all this stuff. Okay. The next piece of Cutco is gonna be the Petite Carver. So this is the knife that we cut the rope with. Other than all the rope that you eat in the kitchen, this is really good for all the big summer fruits and all the big large fruits. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen anyone else buy like this pre-sliced fruit before, like in the containers.
Oh yeah, we did
It's
that.
a
yeah.
total, oh, so you guys do it?
Yeah.
Even my parents used to do that for me at my softball.
Oh, I was gonna call it the biggest scam of the grocery store. So I'm not saying that you guys fell for the biggest scam of the grocery store, but other people maybe have. So the benefit of the Petite Carver is that you can actually save $5 a week.
Wow.
All right, so what's $5 a week? I don't know, I'm just doing a little bit of easy math. I mean, what if HEB gave you $250 every January 1st when you walked in? It's like already the greatest grocery store ever, but that would be like even better. That's what you're doing for yourself if you just buy this one knife. So here's why. If you buy the pineapple in whole, it's $4. The pre-cut pineapple is $9. So if you just take 40 seconds, and that's all it takes to cut up a cantaloupe or a pineapple or like a honeydew melon, and you can see this mom is doing it right there on the video. So I'm gonna talk about these prices and then play the video. So all it's gonna take you for you to do that is 40 seconds a week to save $5 and get yourself $250. Would it be worth it to spend 40 seconds a week to get a $250 bonus every single year? It's like a free week of groceries, right? That's what you get by having this tool. And that's why these tools are so valuable. And I don't know if you guys have ever bought tools before. Do you guys by any chance have any like tools in the garage
Yeah,
or
I have
anything like that?
Milwaukee.
Okay, you got the Milwaukee, it's like the big stand, right? So you know how like that, do you have like the bench or do you have like the tall one?
No, I
or-
have the really big.
Okay, so you know how that one costs like $2,000 for just like the box,
Yeah.
and then like the tools, you have to like add a couple thousand, for that. By the way, I will say that, and sometimes the wife is like,
And I'm like,
so you know how that thing costs $2,000? Is like, shut up, dog. Yeah, so this is kind of like the tools for the kitchen essentially. Okay, and again, you'll use them every single day versus sometimes tools just maybe like once a week. But all right, so the next tool in your set.
Well, so I had a question about
Yeah.
that one. You were mentioning that it was used for like pineapple and fruit, but
Yeah.
I saw pictures of meat on there, so can it also
Small
be
chicken, small quail, like the smaller meats. That's what you probably use that for.
Okay.
This is another one of the most powerful tools. Again, what if I could save you $15 a week? $15
I know
times
he'd
50
be happy
weeks.
about
Okay, we're
that.
talking about what, like $750 a year? Check it out. You guys ever do watermelon on a weekend or something like that? Maybe like not every weekend, but like every once in
Oh,
a
yeah.
while.
Usually,
Like-
especially
all right, cool.
during the
So check it out.
summer.
If you've ever seen the pre-slice, that's $9 for 20% of a watermelon, and here's $5 for a whole one. So meaning a pre-sliced whole watermelon, probably about $25. Okay, so how quickly can you save the $15? Again, 29 seconds to take the watermelon into pieces. Like basically using like a lightsaber. I don't know if you've ever used lightsaber before, but it's pretty cool in Star
Can
Wars.
this one be used for meat as well?
And so what you're using this for is disjointing chicken. Do you guys ever do like wings or anything like that? So I don't know if you ever noticed, like when you buy the wings attached to the flats, it costs more money. And when you buy them, when you buy them separately, it costs more money, and when you buy them together, it's cheaper when you buy them whole. So you can actually buy the whole entire chicken and pre-cut it up yourself. You just put it to Ziploc bags in the freezer, and so that way you can save a bunch of money on chicken. You can save a bunch of money on ribs. You can actually like take stuff apart, put it in the freezer, and just take stuff out whenever you need it, versus having to cook an entire chicken when you want to just have it with it. Okay. So again, this is just one of those ones that will save the most amount of money. Okay. All right. So the next tool in your set is the chef knife. I don't know about how you guys chop veggies, but I remember my mom, before she bought some Cutco, I would hear her in the kitchen like this, like cutting veggies. And she was like, why are my knives going dull? I was like, I don't know. Is it maybe because you were just like destroying them against the cutting board? So I don't know if you've ever like watched a cooking show before. The reason why they have this chef knife as the thing they use the most is because it's designed to save time. Okay,
Like
so
Gordon Ramsay.
yeah, just like that. So ours is going to be the high knuckle clearance, so that way you don't get like kind of smash your knuckles against the whole time. That's why you couldn't do it with a little knife like this. And so with the chef knife, you can get really nice thin chopping, because the purpose of like garlic and like onions and parsley is not to be chewed into, but it's actually to dissolve into your food to create the flavor of those things, right? And so what you want to do is you want to learn how to chop really fine. In order to do that, you got to have a chopping knife like that. So if you were to get one of those things, the biggest thing is that you'll actually be able to put so many more flavors into your food, but the kids won't notice because they won't chew into that. All right, so pause. Again, painting the picture of getting her to get her kids to eat more vegetables. I don't know if you guys know this, but that is one of the biggest challenges for moms, is to how to hide vegetables into kids' foods.
Yeah, little dry.
Right? There's a lot of kids that if they can chew it, it's over. But if you can hide it into their food, and that concept of this is how you hide veggies into your kids' food is so powerful for your customers. Guys with me? Addie, you rocking? All right. By the way, was anybody like that when you were a little kid? Like if it was hidden into it, you would know, but if you knew it was there, you wouldn't even touch it, even if you thought Mike was like that. Yeah, a lot of kids were like fussy eaters, so you're trying to help them be a better cook as a mom. Again, you're a consultant for their kitchen. All right, the next piece of Cutco is going to be the bread slicer. I don't know if you guys have ever done like homemade bread, or you ever like buy like garlic bread from like from the store or something like that. So this is the stuff where you can actually bake it in the oven and you can slice it while it's still hot. I don't know if you've ever heard someone like, oh, don't cut it too quickly because it's going to smush. With a double the edge, because it's so sharp, you can actually cut piping hot homemade bread right out of the oven when it like is still like the smoke plumes out when you like slice that first slice. And then you ever like put butter on like hot, piping hot bread and it just kind of like melts it all through? Okay, pause. What am I doing? I'm torturing Jasmine right
Yeah,
now.
I'm starving now. I'm on some bread with butter.
Right? That's why she'll buy the slicer, because she's like, I'm so excited to try to do that. I'm painting the vision of how cool it's going to be when they own Cutco. All right, the next piece of also, do you guys ever do like taco night every once in a while?
Tuesdays.
All right, Taco Tuesday's awesome. All right, check it out. So I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but like a head of lettuce is like $1.50.
Yes.
And then like a bag of lettuce is like $4.
Yeah.
And then you have all
So
the
much
extra
easier
plastic.
Just do it at home.
And you get so much more out of the head of lettuce than you do out of the plastic. Also, I don't know if you guys want the the guy who's making $5 an hour at HEB to actually touch the inside of your lettuce. with his greasy, disgusting hand, and he just did this against his hair and then stopped chopping his red juice. I'm not saying they're doing that, but I also don't know they didn't do that.
Could we
Okay.
just use this? for
So, well, the nice thing about the slicer is really, really long. So yeah, you could use that for that too. But the longer the knife, the less that you have to push down. So sometimes because like the head of lettuce is about as wide, what you want to have is the knife that you're using should be at least 2 inches longer than anything you're cutting up. That way you can do nice long slices and never have to push down or little tiny slices like that. So it's just going to be easier. But yeah, you could use this knife for anything you want. You want to like, you know, shave with it. But no, it's good to have the right tool for the right job. All right, so the next piece of Cutco in your set is the master carving set. This is going to be what you're going to use for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter,
it's
and then do you guys ever like barbecue at all ever on weekends? I think you mentioned it before. This is like the best brisket knife. It's really long, so the petite carver is 7 5/8 inches, and the master carver is 9 1/4. So you're getting a lot more knife, and so you can make the nice long slices on the brisket, which means you don't smush the brisket, right? Because you know what happens when you do this on a brisket, right?
Yeah, the juice comes.
Yeah, you want to do just like one long slice. Okay, time out. Have you noticed that like I slow down at certain words where I want them to visualize what I'm talking about? Great. All right, and then the last thing we're going to talk about here are going to be the Cutco table knives. So these are going to be what you're going to use for breakfast, lunch, dinner. We typically recommend 2 per person per household. That way you don't have to like wash them after every meal. You guys typically run the dishwasher like once a day or like once every 2 days or whatever?
About, yeah, every 2 days.
Every 2 days? Okay, cool. So that way you don't have to like always be washing them. So the set comes with at least 8. So if there's 4 of you guys, that probably should be enough unless you wanted to get more for like company or something like that. Our biggest set does come with 12, so we can always decide that later if you want to. All right. So we're gonna do so I brought over a piece of steak that my mom made yesterday. It's a little overcooked. Just kidding, it's another. So I'm gonna actually have you, Miss Jones, do the leather cutting here. So let's grab your steak knife first. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have you go ahead and make a little cut right at the top. Okay, pause right there, and then you can push straight down. Notice that resistance? Okay, that's fine. All right, the next one we're gonna try is the Cutco table knife. So what's cool about the table knives is it's round like a butter knife, but it got the double edge too. All right, cool. Let's make a little thin cut at the top. Isn't that cool? And you can just push straight down.
Oh.
Look at that. Thin, like nice and cut. Now imagine that through a really nice steak,
I didn't
like
even
perfect
expect it to
medium
cut as
rare.
much at the
Isn't that
first
cool?
time.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing, and they're used for all in 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Again, if you cut the leather with a table knife, you don't actually have to watch the video. I only play the videos for stuff I don't have.
Okay.
It'll make things faster. All right, and then the steak knife. So some people like to upgrade to our larger steakhouse steak knives. I am sorry for the way this is about to torture you right now. That steak is cooked a little bit more than I would probably cook it. And it's still kind of big in the middle, but you've got to be a little less than that. You kind of let it off with the knife. But the steak knives they're much larger. So you're getting about a little bit of extra width, a little bit of extra length on them. And so if you just want the larger steakhouse, some people get a combo. You can actually get half steak knives, half table knives, so you can do all in one. Here's my advice. If you're only going to buy Cutco one time in your whole entire life, you might as well just buy what you love. Cool. You think you go for the larger steak knives, smaller table knives?
I like the steak knife.
One of
I
one?
like
Have a
it.
couple of each?
This is small.
I like the table knives.
So that's what you can do. You can do half and half if you wanted to. We can do a 50-50. That's no problem. But and then okay, so the wood blocks that we have, obviously, it'd be kind of crazy to have all of these knives just in a drawer, and then imagine little Drazen trying to reach in for like an ice cream scoop like this.
No.
Yeah, so we want to try to avoid trips to the emergency room. So the wood blocks are treated with a coating of the resin, same kind of stuff that the handles are made of, so that way they don't absorb anything. They have little rubber feet at the bottom, so they don't slip around or on. So the wood blocks are just the easiest, safest way to store your knives. It's kind of like having like a garage for your Ferrari of knives.
That's
Right,
great,
so-
but how much does like one of the sets cost like that?
They're about 50 million, but we do have a $1 discount today because you guys are seeing me on Friday. But I'll get you guys a deal. Okay, pause. That's always my answer.
I want to know what you'd say.
They're about 50 million, but because we're seeing me today, we have like a $1 discount, and they always laugh, and they realize, okay, he's gonna get to that. in a
Honey,
minute.
we're not paying $50 million for knives.
Do you guys get how I answered that? That's how we always answer. Oh, they're about 57 million, but you know, we actually get you a free receipt
We have a
today.
1% discount.
A $1 discount.
$1 discount. 1 cent discount today.
All right, so kitchen tools. This is going to replace all of your mismatched tools. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen like that little, the dangly one, the one that looks like a dinosaur and is all
Yeah.
kind of half melted and stuff like
That
that.
looks so
This just has a nice clean look. They match. I love the mixer that's for pancakes. The slotted spoon for all your like veggies, and the ladle for your punch and your sangria, and then the spatula, super thin, so you don't ever break the omelet when you're flipping it in half.
Since it's metal, wouldn't that like scratch your pan or something?
If you have the Teflon, I wouldn't recommend it. If you're ever in the market for the non-Teflon stuff, we can show you some of that stuff. Yeah, so we have some cookware also. And then I'm going to show you our entertainer bag. These are just 4 accessories that like no one has ever had a good quality version of. And so you guys ever use that like peeler that's like metal jiggly and kind of like rattles? Okay, so this is our peeler. We're going to let you try it. I'm going to kind of skip this section here to get to this stuff here. All right, so that's Cutco. All right, Mrs. Jones, so in summary, let me review why so many people choose to invest in Cutco. Number 1 is you'll always have sharp American-made knives. They're guaranteed forever, so you never have to buy some knives again, and it actually saves a lot of money. Most customers that buy Cutco eat out less, so if you just go out to eat like 1 time less per month, you'd save probably like $60 a month. Times 12 months, that's $720. And if you own Cutco for 50 years, let's say even over 25 years, that's $18,000 you'd save. There are several reasons why a lot of people like to choose the set of Cutco. You got the right tool for the right job. Cutco sets have a built-in discount, so it's cheaper. Sets come with a free cutting board, another free Cutco as well. And they're so much safer because they come in a block or a tray. We have interest-free monthly investment options, so you don't have to pay for all at once. All right, so when it comes to high quality cutlery, it's like anything else. There's a wide variety of quality and prices. Cutco is top rated, so we only compare to the highest quality brands. I actually have a price comparison for some of our top competitors, Wusthof and Shun. Have you guys ever heard of them before?
Yep.
Maybe? All right, cool. These are really high quality sets. They're made overseas. They're 2 of the top selling brands in the world. And they're really, really, really awesome. Wusthof is, I think, one of the more popular ones right now. So the price for the Wusthof set is, they have a lot of really amazing features, and a lot of chefs really like them as well. So the price for the Wusthof set, full price is $3,015. Something you can find it on sale for about $2,300. All right, pause. That is one of the most important parts of the demo I just did. How was I talking about Wusthof and Shun?
You're building
Very
them
well.
up.
That's good.
They are awesome. Are you guys crazy? They've been around for like 300 years. We've been around for 75. Wusthof and Shun are awesome products. If you're a chef. And I throw that in there. That's why chefs love them. And I'm about to handle that in a second. Now, there are some major differences between these brands and Cutco. Now, the biggest thing is that all of the Wusthof knives, other than typically one, they're all straight edges. So, they actually have to be sharpened over and over and over again, which can be a hassle. And they are not recommended to put in the dishwasher. So you have to wash them by hand. And their warranty is just manufacturing defects only. In comparison, Cutco has the double D edge, their dishwasher safe, they have the wedge lock handle, the forever performance, forever sharpness, forever replacement, 15-day guarantee as well. And I can tell you that Cutco owners will tell you that it's 10 times better than any knives I've ever used. Just obviously considering the guarantee and unique features, most people would agree that Cutco's at least twice as good as Wusthof, right? And when something's twice the quality and twice the value, it should be twice the price. And when you're twice the price, it should be about $4,000 for a set of Cutco. So let me show you what you would get for that. Okay, pause. So why is Connor nodding at me right now? because when I nod like this, it is a physiological, psychologically induced reaction for you to nod back at me. It's almost impossible for you not to be nodding at me right now. Even if I'm telling you it's happening, your brains, it's like you're trying to stop yourself right now, but you want to do it. It's like your eyes are like moving like this now. You're like shaking that you can't stop nodding. And so what I'm doing is I'm making them agree that it should be $4,000. And I even said, let me show you what you get for that. Making them think that I'm going to tell them that something's going to cost about $4,000 right now. Right? Cool. All right, so that is today's section. Let me go ahead and